I interviewed Donald Pinder from the Harriet Tubman Museum in Cambridge, Maryland. I interviewed him because I can give me more information on Harriet Tubman. Araminta Ross was born somewhere around 1820 and 1821. We do not know when she was born because slave owners did not think slaves' birthdays were important. At about the age of 12, Araminta was hit with a 2-pound weight in the head. After Araminta's head injury, her mother nursed her to health for many weeks. After she was better, Araminta Ross changed her name to Harriet in honor of her mother. After the incident, Harriet was treated with respect. She was no longer a child. When Harriet was 24, she married John Tubman, a free African American. The significance of Harriet's marriage is John Tubman tried to convince Harriet Tubman not to escape. John Tubman even threatened her. If she escaped, he would tell her over. Harriet used the Underground Railroad to free herself in 1851. Later, she became a conductor of the Underground Railroad.
In 1854, she comes down and takes 3 of her brothers on Christmas Day. A lot of people would be not thinking about this on Christmas Day, but she was also successful. They end up in Auburn, New York, changing their last names to Stewart. And why Stewart's? At this time, John Stewart was the governor of New York, a great friend of Harriet Tubman, and a helpful friend of Harriet Tubman. The property that she owns in Auburn, she had helped actually getting it from him, the governor at that time. And later he became Secretary of State under Abraham Lincoln during his reign as president. But Harriet Tubman had 7 brothers and sisters, and actually Harriet was the 5th child of that union. Now in that particular household, Ben was not there. Ben was owned by another slave owner called Dr. Anthony Thompson. He was a medical doctor and a local preacher, and he was born, and he lived approximately 10 miles west of that location. Now the only time that Ben could see his children was on Saturday. Slaves worked 6 days a week, and they did not work along with owners on Saturday, and that was his also visiting day to actually see his children.
I looked at my hands to see if I was the same person now that I was free. There was such a glory over everything. The sun came like gold through the trees and over the fields, and I felt like I was in heaven. The Underground Railroad is a series of networks that had safe houses that slaves used to escape. The Underground Railroad began in 1819 and ended in 1858. Harriet Moses Tubman freed more than 300 slaves as a conductor on the Underground Railroad. She worked in the Civil War as a nurse and spy for the Union Army. Towards the end of her life, she made a home for the poor in Auburn, New York. Harriet Tubman was a conductor of the Underground Railroad. The slaves she was freeing had to rest in houses run by Quakers called safe houses. Harriet Tubman did extremely dangerous work while freeing slaves. She could have been shot and killed. Harriet Tubman or the slaves could have been caught and re-enslaved or put in jail. They could have been injured, so they could not continue to freedom. There were rewards for catching Harriet Tubman. The highest rewards were up to $40,000. That is equivalent to about $25 million today. Harriet Tubman was hired to the Union Army under the command of General Montgomery. Harriet Tubman worked as a nurse in Port Washington for the Union Army. During the Civil War, Harriet Tubman worked as a spy to find out about the plans the Confederate Army had made to attack the Union Army.
John Tubman was killed here in Dorchester County in 1867 over a dispute over a property line dispute with his next door neighbor, Benson. And the trial was done here in Dorchester County, in Dorchester County Circuit Court, and his neighbor was found not guilty.